Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Today on The Young and the Restless, Sharon tells Faith about Cameron. Phyllis makes a promise to Nick, and Kyle and Summer settle their issues. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Nick walks into Crimson Lights and spots Phyllis contemplating a muffin. He senses she's upset and asks, "What's going on?" Phyllis shrugs, "I'm good." He sits and says, "Tell that to someone who doesn't know you." He reaches for her muffin, but she won't share it. He assumes she's upset about Summer. Phyllis thought she was going to have the perfect life with Kyle and Harrison. Now she's divorced and in a custody battle. Nick says she and Kyle could find some middle ground. Wanting what's best for Harrison could win the day. Phyllis feels it's hard when Kyle's being such an ass. Nick nods. The last few months he's really gone off the rails. Where the hell did this come from? Phyllis says it came from his mom. It was only a matter of time before she worked her poison. Kyle has changed, and so has Jack, because of her. And they haven't changed for the better. Nick tells Phyllis that just because she hates Diane, that doesn't mean she's responsible for what's going on with Kyle and Jack. Phyllis says if she'd really wanted to make amends, she'd have done everything in her power to win back their trust. Instead, she conned Jack into marrying her and took Kyle's job. Nick counters that Jack seems to love her. Phyllis says he's blind to everything related to Diane, but Kyle's not. I think that Kyle's beginning to see his mom for the person she is. She thinks it's pushing him to the edge. Diane ruined his life, and he knows it, and he's taking it out on Summer. Chance gushes over Summer's look at the jazz lounge. She says it's been a while since they had a proper date, and she wanted to look especially nice for him. They kiss. Summer proposes a toast to Chance, who helped her get back on track with Kyle. She can't believe they might actually work things out. Summer worries about jinxing it. Chance tells her she's brilliant, beautiful, kind, and the best mother. The universe wants all good things for her. Summer teases that the universe has a funny way of showing it. Chance doesn't think she's jinxed. Things just got complicated. They muse about married people who can find a way to work through difficult times. Her parents loved each other, but couldn't make it work. Even her grandparents have been on and off. They wonder if happily ever after is a lie and not even possible. Chance isn't giving up on it just yet. Summer thinks he's right. She's very lucky. The universe brought me you. Jack finds Kyle sitting at the club bar and greets him. Kyle wonders if his dad could pretend he didn't see him and keep going. Jack angles for Kyle to have a drink with him. Kyle left the house to get some peace after another run-in with his mom. She's as relentless as Jack is. Jack says they simply want to heal the rift. Kyle says, "A rift of your making." Jack brings up Harrison and Kyle asks his father not to use his son as bait. Jack tells Kyle the love is there, and he's not willing to let it go. "I don't think you are either." He wants to talk about how they can avoid the disintegration of their relationship. Kyle asks his father to hear him out instead of telling him he's wrong. "This family has meant everything to me. Our history, our legacy, our accomplishments." He wanted nothing more than to be known as the next Jack Abbott, but the man he loved and admired. Kyle questions how far his love for his mother has to go. He used to feel like he respected what he brought to the table, but now he just feels like a pawn in a game to keep his mom happy. Jack insists he's proud of him and wants his happiness and success. Kyle shrugs. "As long as I suck up the next indignity you throw at me." Kyle snarks that they told him he needed to grow up and learn about consequences. That goes both ways. You and mom made your choice. This is your consequence. A son that doesn't trust you anymore. At Society, Daniel and Heather sit for a romantic dinner. They talk about Lucy, and Heather says she's been moody and distant. Heather is worried about her. At Sharon's place, Faith grills her mother about who told to go away. Sharon says she fell asleep on the sofa and must have talked in her sleep. Faith looks at the sofa, which is covered with laundry and other items, and asks, "Why are you lying to me?" Sharon denies the falsehood and Faith points out the couch. "There's no way you fell asleep on this." She wishes she would be honest with her. With all of them. "We want to help you." Sharon apologizes. Faith asks, "Tell me what's going on." Sharon confesses she's not only been seeing Cassie, but Cameron too. Sharon explains that Cameron's been showing up in her nightmares. Faith finds this horrible. Sharon clucks that she didn't want to dredge up bad memories. Faith asks, "What does he say or do?" Sharon says it's jumbled nonsense from a madman. "I keep telling him to go away." Faith asks, "Does he go away?" Sharon says, "Sometimes." Faith asks about her meds. Sharon insists she'll call the doctor in the morning. She urges her to go have fun with her friends. Faith suddenly gets a text from Lucy. "I'm in trouble. Can you help me?" Faith sighs. Faith tells Sharon about Lucy sneaking out of the house earlier and explains that now she sent a text saying she's in trouble. Another text comes in, this one asking Faith to please come and get her. She can't call her parents. She swears it's the last favor she'll ever ask her. Faith shows her mother. What if she did something stupid because she was upset about what I said? Sharon and Faith realize there's only one thing she can do. Help her. Faith texts Lucy back to ask, "Where are you?" In Crimson Lights, Phyllis tells Nick that Diane ruined Kyle and Summer's marriage. Nick chuckles. Does she really want to go the blame route? Phyllis knows that she played a part. Nick thinks that Kyle was unforgiving as hell. He doesn't understand how he could completely forgive his mother for walking away from him, but not give Summer the same grace. He thinks Kyle tanked the marriage. Phyllis thanks him for letting her off the hook, but she knows what she did and she'll own it. And you know what else I'm going to fix? At the club bar, Jack asks Kyle about him and Summer coming to an agreement. Kyle says they had a civil talk, and he's hoping they can avoid a custody battle. Jack thinks they could revisit the idea of having a drink together to keep the progress going. What do you say? Like the old times? Kyle begs off and asks for his check. Jack asks if he'll come up with excuses every time he wants to get together. Kyle thinks it will be a whole lot easier to avoid each other altogether. Jack walks out. At Society, Daniel tells Heather that Lucy checked in a while ago and shows her a text. He hopes she realizes she got off easy since it was her first offense. She's made mistakes, but they are course correcting. He's sure she knows they're trying to help her. Heather worries it's some of their choices that got them here. They've moved a lot, and trying to fit in over and over in new places takes a toll. Finding your people is never easy. They aren't surprised that Lucy is all about being Faith's friend when she's so cool and together. In the park, Faith finds Lucy sitting on the ground beside a bench. She spots a bottle of alcohol and snaps. "Really, Lucy? Please don't tell me that this is yours." At Crimson Lights, Nick warns Phyllis not to meddle in Kyle and Summer's current situation due to her guilt. She and Summer are back in a good place, so she should just give her love and support. Phyllis says, "She's my heart, you know. So is her brother." Tearing up, she says they're proof that she did something right. Nick tells her she got a lot of things right. He wants her word that she'll stop stirring the pot and just be the rock that Summer needs. Even if she thinks things are going south, she does nothing. "Can I have your word?" Phyllis replies, "Absolutely. You have my word." She gives him her muffin. At Society, Daniel hopes they can keep Lucy from making the kind of mistakes you can't come back from. He and Heather discuss Cassie's accident. Daniel wonders if Lucy is still mad at him for his downward spiral. Heather doesn't believe that, but something has definitely shifted with their daughter. Heather hopes that when school starts she'll meet some kids her own age. In the park, Faith dumps out the booze and Lucy says she doesn't feel so good. Faith learns that she snuck into a bar and stole the bottle when the bartender wasn't looking. "What is wrong with you?" Lucy felt stupid after she saw her, like she'd messed everything up. Faith reiterates that she's older and going to college. She wants to call her parents, but Lucy protests. She snuck out, and if they see her like this, they'll kill her. She begs Faith to just drive her home. Faith yells, "You're going to lie to them and make me a part of it again." Lucy will never ask her for another favor. "Please, just drive me home." At Sharon's place, she asks, "Are you there, Cameron?" "Hello." When he doesn't appear, she tells him to stay gone. She is complaining about him when her phone rings. "Yes, this is Sharon Newman." "What? An accident? Thank you. I'm on my way." She rushes out the door crying, "Oh, no." At Society, Daniel and Heather are getting ready to go home and check on Lucy when Heather's phone rings. "Hello? Yes. We'll be right there." She tells Daniel that Lucy's in the ER and has had an accident. "We have to go." At Crimson Lights, Nick and Phyllis are discussing Daniel and reminiscing about their penchant for playing video games when his phone rings. Nick says, "Hey Sharon, what's going on?" "What? No. Slow down. What do you need me to do?" He tells Phyllis that Faith was in an accident and pushes out the door past Jack, who asks Phyllis, "Is everything all right?" Phyllis stares at him in shock. At the club, Chance and Summer are making out in the foyer when Kyle passes by. Summer greets him and he asks if she's given their conversation any thought. Summer says she has. Kyle replies, "Me too." Kyle asks if she's made a decision. Summer thinks they should both talk to their lawyers and have them draw up a new joint custody agreement. Kyle says, "We can set things up in the morning." He wishes them a good night and they head upstairs. Nearby, Daniel and Heather arrive and question a nurse. Nick and Sharon overhear them and Nick asks, "Lucy was in an accident." Daniel says, "Yeah, why are you here?" Sharon cries, "Faith." Daniel gulps, "Faith was in the car too." They all look at each other in horror. In Crimson Lights, Phyllis has told Jack that Faith was in an accident. He worries that Nick and Sharon have already suffered such enormous loss. Phyllis stammers that Faith has to be Oak. There's no other option. At the hospital, the paramedic tells the brute that the car skidded off the road and hit a wall. He walks off and Sharon rants that she can't stand there and wait for a doctor to tell her how Faith is doing. She strides across the room and pulls back a blue curtain. Faith is unconscious in the bed with contusions on her face. Sharon gulps, "Faith." Sharon looks at Nick and sobs. Daniel and Heather find Lucy in the next bed over, unconscious with a cut on her eyebrow. They look gravely concerned. Next on The Young and the Restless, Sharon and Nick experience déjà vu. Sally demands the truth from Adam, and Tracy opens up to Alan.